Michael B. Jordan. He always hit a little different. You two have built something special over the years. How's that relationship evolved from Fruitville all the way to Sinners? Um,
Yeah,
is it
man.
is it like an MJ Phil Jackson type of thing? Like,
I would say it's more like I would say it's more like Mike and Pippen.
okay,
You know what I mean? Like,
influence, directing films, how you interact. Obviously, you're just talking about it with your cast and crew. Do you find yourself in more like a coaching, or do you find yourself in more just like, I want to build a beautiful environment so we can build a beautiful piece. Um,
yeah, yeah. I think I'm definitely yeah, yeah, it's more of a coach type situation, you know what I'm saying?
Man, the myth, the legend. What up, man?
I even close, bro. I'm chilling.
I love to see it. I love to see it. Shit, you ready to hop straight to it, or you need a second?
I'm good, bro.
Straight to it. Straight to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Appreciate you.
Let me flip the chair around on.
Go ahead. Oh, appreciate you taking the time, man. I've seen it twice. I've told just about everybody and anybody who will listen. I think it's one of the best movies I ever watched in my life. So,
Come on, bro.
uh,
That's incredibly kind of you to say, man.
man, it's real. Kind or not, it's real, bro. It's
Right
crazy.
on. Right
Uh,
on, bro. I mean, like I'm not gonna lie, we put our all into it for sure. You know what I'm saying? But it was with the intention of giving people like a good time at the movies, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that was what it mattered to us the most. Is like just making some folks could go see with their friends in a packed house, room full of strangers. You know what I'm saying? And just have like a have a good time at the movies, bro. Like that's what me and my wife Zinzi, she produced this movie. But bro, our first day was at the movies. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
I thought was what we was on, and like that cinematic experience, bro. Ain't nothing like it when it's right, you know. Um, and we coming off of the pandemic, obviously, bro. That um a lot of people lost their lives, and a lot of cultural habits was changed. You know what I'm saying? Um, by that, and then right after that, my industry had two kind of backbreaking labor disputes. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
where kind of all stemming from streaming, to be honest with you, and um, which was a lot of money got dumped into that, before, during, and after the pandemic, you know, and people got in the habit of like watching really great stuff at their house. You know what I mean? Like people, got bought bigger TVs, bigger
Yeah.
sound systems. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, what the hell I'm gonna leave? You feel me? I'll pop popcorn right
Facts.
here and watch. You know what I'm saying? Watch whatever. You feel me? And I can change it if I don't like it. But that habit, the habit of going out to the movies, it atrophied. You know what I'm saying? Like I think folks started debating it, man. Maybe it's more trouble than it's worth. But for us, where we come from, like as filmmakers, we got to give y'all something that's worthy of leaving the house. You know what I'm saying? That's what we was
That
on.
part.
You know, like we was on giving people something that like the IMAX experience, the big
Man.
premium format experiences, and the things you just can't get at home. You'll never build an IMAX in your house. You know, so I don't care who you are. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. That's a
you
fact. That's a fact. I watched it on second time. Watched both was IMAX. Second time was the 70 millimeter. And man, it didn't disappoint. It didn't
know, right
disappoint.
on,
70
right on.
millimeter was crazy, bro.
Oh, you
Um,
liked it?
yeah, bro. OD, OD.
Yeah, right on.
Every, everything I did was perfect. But I'm gonna jump right into it because I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're a busy man. First question. There are so many layered themes throughout Sinners, from guilt, redemption, community, accountability. Is it fair to say you were giving us a message, but intentionally leaving space for us to interpret, in our own way? Talk me through that real quick.
I mean, I think like for me, I'm trying to communicate more than anything a feeling. You know, when I was first getting started at filmmaking, I was thinking about like what's my theme, what's my thesis, what argument am I trying to make about the world? What am I trying to get across? But as I have gotten older and more experienced, I'm realizing that, you know, there's a certain respect that you have to give your audience, especially in today's age, man, the information age, where people have so much information available to them, and you
Yeah,
know, and if somebody wants an opinion, what I'm saying, on the world or a statement, they got a lot of places they can go to get that now. You know what I'm saying? You can go to YouTube, you go to podcast, you can go, turn on whatever. So for me, what I'm more interested in now is I'm definitely picking some ideas I want to explore, but more than anything, I'm trying to communicate a feeling. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to communicate a feeling through film language. And give folks an experience, a visceral experience. You know what I'm saying?
I
Uh,
feel that.
I want to build up uh characters that feel both mythic and like people who you will meet any day. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I want to put them in situations that are heightened. You know what I'm saying? Um, with stakes that are clearly defined and heightened. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, and from now, I want to communicate, of whatever feeling I'm interested in. You know what I'm saying, or that I'm feeling at the time while I'm making it. And if I can have all of that, then I think the audience will react to it. And in this day and age, I think people are sharp enough. You know what I'm saying, that they can kind of draw their own conclusions. You know what I'm saying?
I
Um,
agree.
yeah.
I agree. I had a couple debates about it too with a couple friends, and um, everybody loved it. Even in theaters after the movie went off, man, the two times I've seen it, everybody stuck around for end credits, a round of applause, and standing
Oh
ovations.
wow.
It's I know I literally wanted to go again just to see what other people would see and feel, and like the
Yeah.
fact that everybody is seeing and feeling the same emotions and the same reactions after is it's hard to get a round of applause and standing ovation and whoo and all that at the end of the movie. It's hard to get those. So
Yeah.
and I'm not even in I wasn't even in the inner city when I saw it. First time, yes. Second time I was in Irvine, Orange
Okay.
County,
Oh, you went to
California.
Irvine. Wow. How was that?
Man, beautiful. I ain't never seen so many black people in Irvine in my life.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
to say
That's great, bro.
it brought us out of the woodworks into a place we're not used to was dope, man.
That's
Super
great.
dope. Yeah, so you hit home with a bunch of people. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the next question. Though. I don't want to stick on that too long. For this film, what conversations do you want to spark within the culture? You clearly wanted to make a statement on different cultures, so to
Yeah.
speak, since every culture was in our and dance styles was in it.
Yeah.
What do you feel on that?
Yeah. I mean, what I discovered in my research was that, blues music, the Delta blues music, was arguably the most important artistic contribution that our country has ever made to the world. You know, and um, and it's known that you know, the United States is a combination of a lot of different people from a lot of different places, including those that were essentially the first human beings here. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, and uh, everybody, with the exception of the folks that was already here, kind of brought pieces of that culture, with them. And these cultures bounced off of each other, in ways that were pleasant and unpleasant, right? You know what I'm saying? To kind of form, what we think of uh, American culture today and its position in the global popular culture landscape. You know what I'm saying? Like um, it's always been a profound one. You know what I mean? But realizing that these enslaved, forcibly removed Africans that were in this specific region of the Mississippi Delta at this time created this art form that penetrated the time space continuum so crazily that today's popular music we listen to is still a version of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um, and also the idea of going into a space that you can be free in, like the nightclub. You know what I mean? The speakeasy, the discotheque. You
yeah,
know, that idea of, oh man, I can dance in this place. I'm safe in this place. I can be with my people in this place. You know what I'm saying? I can be my
Right.
full self in this place. Maybe in this place I can put on something nice and talk to this girl. Like, that whole culture. You know what I'm saying? Also this place had a big saying that, you know what I mean? The juke joint. You know,
True. Exactly. Yeah.
so for me, it, it, it became very clear that these people were just trying to, you know, express their humanity at a time when it was being denied, and and,
Yep.
and that and that expression of humanity is like a bat signal to other human beings all over the place. You know what I mean? Like I guess everybody understands that, and everybody has their own versions of that. You know what I'm saying? And in cultures where they being suppressed, as human beings have the awful habit of doing to each other. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
That bat signal can be even stronger. So much to the point that you play Irish folk music for a black person in America, you can't help but to move your feet to
Man.
it. You know what I mean? You can't help it. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, bro, it was a Disney Channel movie came out it was called Luck of the
Luck
Irish.
of the Irish was the joint, man.
Bro, the way that movie was loved in the hood, bro. People would never understand. And for me, working on this movie, I realized what it was, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
African Americans and Irish folk are kind of kindred spirits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like in um, the music is in conversation with each other. The movements, the history is in conversation with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and oftentimes in this country, uh, uh, we were pitted against each other. You know what I'm saying? But when you really look at it, it's so many commonalities, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so in the movie, I wanted to explore that and heighten that juxtaposition. You feel me?
Got you. Got you. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. You did that, bro.
All
Um,
right.
next one's kind of a two-parter. Um, I know that the viral post going on right now is the Sugar Shack post compared to Yo scene.
Oh.
Is that a thing, or is that just what everybody's saying right now? Like,
No, no, that's definitely a thing, bro. Like that's a big, massive inspiration for everything, man. That painting is so important, bro. It was used as a Marvin Gaye album cover. It was used
every barber shop
for
that
opening
was
credits at Good Times. I mean, what that represents, that represents, a part of the thesis of the movie, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't look at that picture and not feel it, and
that's
not
a
feel the
fact.
emotions that he was trying to get across. You know what I'm saying? You can't and for us, look, man, like I was listening to a lot of blues music when I was making the movie, but another piece of work I was listening to was that Marvin Gaye album, and he
Okay,
has that statement that's like so profound and so it's a very like it's a masculine statement, but it's not a traditional masculine statement when he says I want you, but I want you to want me too. Like
got
that
you.
that concept
Yeah,
for me was so I kept coming back to that thought, like with all the characters, but specifically the vampire, the master vampire.
man, he
Oh,
he bodied that role, bro.
oh yeah, Jack O'Connell. Yeah, yeah.
He bodied that role.
Terrific actor.
Even when he got outside and they got the Irish stepping, I'm in the theater like, nah, this
Ready
is
to
whack
go,
right here.
huh?
I'm in the theater like, this is a banger.
Yeah, yeah.
So no,
You
that
gotta
was
get the
fire.
soundtrack, bro, because Ludwig did some genius on the soundtrack, bro. Like on that song, because we were listening to me and him, bro. We went on a blues trail, and I'm from the Bay Area, and we bump Southern music. You know what I'm saying? Like just as much as
Yeah,
we bump our own. It's always been that way. Uh, but um, but I always I always loved 3 6 Mafia. You know what I'm saying? Like anything out of Memphis was like, we was like shooting that straight into our veins where I'm from. You know what I'm saying?
got
And
you.
and what it hit me like a ton of bricks, bro, when I traveled there, and I realized that Memphis is so close to the Mississippi Delta. You know what I'm saying? Like it's right, it's literally right there. It's
Yeah,
like an arbitrary line. arbitrary state line, but it's kind of the same people. You know what I mean? Like, and it's kind of, that Memphis sound is kind of an extension of the Delta Blues and Clarksdale. You know what I'm saying? Um and he does something so interesting because we was listening to a lot of Young Dolph, a lot of 36 Mafia while we were listening to that Delta Blues stuff when we were talking about the sound of these characters.
Yeah.
And, and on that Rocky Road to Dublin soundtrack, the song, he brings the 808s in, like how they used to bring the 808s in for Juicy J.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he
Yep.
brings the 808s in for these Irish singers, these dudes that's in the High Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Like so it's Jack O'Connell's verse, and then the real Irish singers come in almost like a feature, and the 808s come in with them. It's crazy. Like there's a crazy thing in your
Yeah.
brain. But like when if you come up listening to black music, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's the debate I was having with somebody today. The way I mix music,
Yeah,
even when it ain't no words going on and it's just a sound, you was
yeah,
mixing like rock with like it's crazy how it all came together. And I'm just
yeah.
picking up on pieces. I'm a big movie goer, so it
Oh, that's
just
what's up.
you killed that, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay,
see. I see that Batman the animated series Joker behind you, bruh.
man,
I,
that's
I, think-
that.
I see. It's Hannah Mark Hamill.
Man, I watch so much different stuff, bro.
Yeah, and,
We
and
could
you
be
and
on a
you and you
call.
got a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt on, bro. You was on that WWF too, okay?
You right. I'm 36, so I
Oh,
grew
so
up
you
with
2 years younger than me? Yeah, yeah. So we on the same.
Ultimate
Yeah.
Warrior, all that.
Oh
Jake the
man, the
Snake.
ultimate. Oh man,
Come on, man. That's why I
the
grew up.
player.
So great times, great times.
Man, what? Hey. Oh man.
Oh, but nah. So I'm gonna head to my next question. I know you ain't got long. Visual approach to this film. Everybody talking about obviously how good it was. Um, was it always in the script? How did you shoot it, and how long did it take to get it right? Let's see. For that musical scene, was that always what it was? How long did it take to get it right? Like even the transition from when they in the barn to when you point up to the flares of the fire in the air and you come down to the outside, and then that's like the vampires look. It was so much in that moment. Like I just want to put that in perspective for people watching the transition of that. Like, did that take
Yeah.
a while? Was that a lot?
Um. Yeah. I mean, it was always I wrote it in the first draft of the script. And it was much more. It was specific and yet broad the first time I wrote it. You know what I'm saying? It, and everybody got really excited about it. All the department heads and I've been working with these department heads for the most part, bro, for some of them for 10, 15 years, bro. You know, and Ludwig was real excited. You know what I'm saying? Like he was real fired, and he's done a lot of things. So it's kind of hard to get him. It's hard to get him like real excited. You know what I'm saying? That's why I know we got something special when he's
Yeah,
like when he's fired up. But Zenzi was fired up. My producer Sev was fired up. You know, and Ruth Carter was. I think Ruth Carter was the most fired up about it. Who does our costumes? So I knew we had something, and you know, like we spent a lot of time, man. Like I worked with Akaman Jones, who's a choreographer I met through Chadwick on the first Black Panther. He did the choreography for the funeral procession on Panther 2. He choreographed the whole movie for me. All of the movement was done with him. He's most known as Usher's choreographer. He's with Usher, you know, most of the year,
okay.
and just an incredible artist, bro. And we had to figure out the musicians, the dancers. We had to figure out the music, and it was all happening live, man. Like so we had a couple rehearsal days leading up to it. We had to build the movements in a certain fashion because the camera's going up and it's going up on the stage and down. We had to build rigs for that. We had to figure out um where our stitches were going to be because the IMAX camera can only hold about 2 minutes worth of film, and that shot is much longer than that. So we had to navigate that and we had to do a full burn of the ceiling,
Damn.
for photography and for reference,
Wow.
and then we had to do uh, a really cool dolly system to pull back over, over on the reveal. But it took a lot of coordination. But I mean, like these are real. We had a rock solid crew, bro. Both my department heads and our local New Orleans crew. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just, everybody there was legends, bro.
Yeah,
And everybody there was excited. You feel me? So
that's
it was,
crazy.
it was, they was happy to have the challenge, man. You know what I mean?
I love that. I love that. I love that.
What's crazy too,
Um,
bro,
yeah,
is the outdoor scene, the outdoor section of that, we shot the same night as a step dance scene.
wow,
It's in the same spot. So it was like
wow,
a all night of doing this, like it's almost like spiritual, like ritualistic, you know what I mean, movement work
yeah,
with the IMAX camera. One of my homies pulled up, and it's one of my childhood friends, man. His name's D'Lo. Big shout out to D'Lo. And he works at our company now. And he had not read the script. He had no context. He just visited that night. And the first thing he said to me is, y'all in here conjuring. Y'all conjuring spirits. Like that was what he said when he saw what we was doing.
that's
He,
crazy.
he had no reference to the screenplay. He had no what was going on. You know what I mean? He was like, bro, what is this movie? You know what I'm saying?
Damn,
You know,
not just off the top of the head.
yeah,
That's crazy, man.
yeah.
Crazy. Um, I know a lot of people probably weren't about this. Obviously, all the cast did an amazing job. But we all got to ask. We want to know. Michael B. Jordan. He always hit a little different. You two have built something special over the years. How's that relationship evolved from Fruitville all the way to Sinners?
Yeah,
Is it
man.
is it like an MJ Phil Jackson type of thing? Like,
I would say I would say it's more like Mike and Pippen.
okay,
You know what I mean? You know, yeah, we just kind of know, we just kind of know what the other one needs, and we got a specific rhythm. Um, you know, and I think like we've become like friends and a part of each other's lives, and we know what's important to the other one outside of filmmaking. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like I know what's happening with his sister and his brother and his mom, and you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And like where we really click is that's what matters to us. You know what I'm saying? Like the filmmaking is obviously our calling, and it's our career, but it's all in service of the family and the community. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we talk about. We link up, man. And it's like, man, how your mom? Okay, boom. That's what's going on with your mom. Okay, what's going on with pops? All right, what's going on with your sister, man? How your
y'all
niece?
family, man.
Yeah,
Y'all
like,
family.
yeah. So it's that, and bro, and you know what I mean. Like we try to move through the world the same way. You know what I mean? Like leading with kindness. You know,
Yeah,
leading
that's
leading
rare.
leading
That's
with
rare,
love,
bro.
and our industry, bro. Unfortunately, it is, man. Especially for him being a movie star. You feel me? Like, so I know. All right, I work with Mike. My number one on the call sheet is gonna treat everybody with dignity. He's
Yeah,
gonna talk. He's gonna talk to the assistants. He's gonna talk to the producer the same way that he talks to the AD. He's gonna know people's names. He's gonna respect women on set. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these things. And that's gonna establish. With me and him coming with that, that's gonna establish what kind of set we have. Now everybody gonna bring their best self.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're most professional, so I'm gonna get the best out of everybody. You feel me? You know, it's hard to work a different way once you work like that. Does that make sense?
I agree. It's pleasant and it make the work environment way better, man. It make
Yeah,
life better. It make life better. It's hard to
100%.
find genuine people nowadays, man. Everybody kind of looking to undercut you in some way, some fashion.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Um, okay. Talk a little bit sports background, influence, directing films, how you interact. Obviously, you're just talking about it with your cast and crew. Do you find yourself in more like a coaching, or do you find yourself in more just like, I want to build a beautiful environment so we can build a beautiful piece. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm definitely yeah, it's more of a coach type situation, you know what I'm saying? Like in that if I'm doing my job right, when I'm putting the team together and uh you know, I'm hiring people that do what they do much better than I ever could.
okay.
You know, um, but I have to be able to communicate with them, speak their language, so that I can get what I'm after, and they can get the film inside of them. You know what I'm saying? And they can deliver it. The best situation is when everybody feels like it's their movie. I found. You know what I'm saying? My cinematographer is thinking about the movie. Not I gotta get Ryan's movie right, but it's we gotta get my movie right. You know what I'm saying? Like the movie is inside of this person. Like um and when they say my movie, when they think of their movie, they think of the same thing that I'm thinking about. You know what I'm saying? It's on me to like really make sure they understand what it is we there to do. Um and 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 I found that, it is a lot like coaching in that aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? I've had good coaches, I've had bad coaches. You know what I'm saying? And I know what it's like to be on the other side of
That's the fact.
of
That's
a
a
bad one. I know what it's like to be on the other side of a great one. You feel me?
that's a fact. You definitely work harder for the good ones. Last question, and this is just one of the homies' questions. We trying to figure. We was having a debate earlier where the Asian people fit. Like you kind of put them in the middle of that story, so to speak. Because they
Yeah.
kind of talk to me a little bit about that, and then we can let you go.
Oh yeah, man. I love that you asked that. In this film, you know, they are a part of this community, you know. And there was a lot of conversation about, like where did they fit into the, obviously, um, uh, they were Chinese American, and they owned grocery stores, in the Mississippi Delta. But they served both black folks and white folks, but they mostly served the black population. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And that's who they were around. You know what I mean? That was their people. You know what I mean?
I
Um,
heard it in the lingo. I heard.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So in the screenplay, Bo and the twins are friends. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not.
Yeah,
Um, you know, and Grace is they family basically.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I could see where folks could watch the film and get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
from the filmmaking perspective, I'm somebody who has, you know, we discovered my father-in-law. He's a black man, 94 years old, born and raised in Chicago, and then moved to Oakland. You know what I mean, where my wife is from.
Mm.
We discovered, when we did his ancestry, that he had Chinese ancestry.
Oh
You know,
wow.
that's how we found out about the Chinese people in Mississippi. You know, um, and because we had it was a relationship there. You know,
100, 100%.
and I got Chinese and black cousins, bro. You know what I'm saying? And homie, like where I'm from, and I know that there is a lot of um, there's been a history of some of that history involved tension, but I think that the history that involves tension gets a lot more attention than the history that involves love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And
agree.
and that for me in this movie, man, that's what their relationship was love, bro. You know what I mean? Like that was why they were there. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh.
They didn't just paint the sign and no, they stuck around and helped and built and danced with them.
Yeah,
But the issue in the film was when it jumped off. Remick knew how to attack that character, and that character, what happened with that character was not because that character is Asian, because that
yeah.
character is a mom. You know what I'm saying? Like that was what and you know what I'm saying. So I'm glad you asked that question, because I wouldn't want people to get the wrong idea about the movie. You know what I'm saying?
No, a lot. Most people that I talked to got that right, especially
Yeah.
when between the heckling each other, pricing and giving love when he walked in. He
Yeah, they
hugged like
loved
it
each
was a
other,
brother.
bro. Yeah, they
He
loved
hugged
each
him
other,
like
bro.
yeah.
Yeah, like
So
that, like that was the reality of it. You know what I'm saying?
got you, got
Um,
you.
you know,
Well, that's it for me, man. I appreciate you taking the time. Your team, thank y'all so much. Um, hell of a movie, like I said, man. The praises you getting, I'm sure, is more than I can
yeah,
say. But
yeah.
man, keep them
I'll,
coming.
I'll, I'll be remiss, bro, if I ain't say this too, bro. I
Yeah.
got a Chinese auntie, bro. that love me like a son, man. Shout out to my auntie, Lynette Keys, bro.
You got a Chinese auntie?
Bro. She loved me like I'm her motherfucking son, bro.
That's dope,
And
bro.
like straight up. You know what I mean? Like shout out to my auntie Lynette. You know what I'm saying? So I would never want that get twisted in one of my movies, bro.
Nah, I got you,
Fuck
man.
that.
I,
You feel
I'm
me?
glad. I'm glad we spoke on it then, because
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people thought about that, like how that went.
Yeah.
So
Nah.
that's dope. I would have never
Nah.
thought you would have said.
Nah. Yeah.
Man, much love, man.
Yeah,
I
you could check
appreciate you.
you could check that, bro, from West Oakland. You could check
That's
that.
fat. He
Yeah,
like straight up.
yeah.
Oh man, much success to your
Yeah,
next endeavor, man. Hopefully your next one hit just as hard. I can't wait to check it out, man. I
yeah.
heard X Files coming up, so I don't know. I,
We gonna keep grinding on this, man, and you know it's more coming soon.
yep, yep. Much love, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
you tuning in.
yeah.
All right.
Thank you, bro.
Yep.